Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, my goodness. I'm sure you can see the excitement in my face right now because this session is very, very special to me. So I need everybody on right now. Come on, come on. Let's get in. Let's sign in. Let's begin to welcome people. Let's begin to share with people because today it's going to open your eyes to something massive, massive. You know, when we talk about social media and social media influencing, many of us have had the preconception that, oh, it's going to take. How do I get those 1 million subscribers? How do I get those 100,000 subscribers? You know, in order to do well, to monetize, to leverage. How do I do that? Well, I am so happy, to tell you that it's not as complicated as you think. And we've been talking about what we call pandemic streams. These are businesses, things you can do to generate streams of income, for yourself during the pandemic, and you just need to know how to do it well. And that is why we have been having this session. Dorcas, you are there. Welcome, welcome. If you enjoyed our session on how to start a YouTube channel, if you enjoyed that, then you need to be here right now for this one. So come on, let's share it. Let's share it widely. Let's get everybody on board, because it is happening. We're also on YouTube at the Street University. So let's get this going. Share it, share it, share it, share it. Let me know who's here. Keep sharing, invite people, because this is going to be one session that this one is going to blow your mind totally. So keep sharing. We have about 60 seconds till we officially kick this off. So let me know who's here. Social media influencing can be demystified. Hello, Esther. How are you? Please call me after, Esther. I have something for you. I had sent Cynthia to you earlier on. Hello, my boys. How are you? Edna. Karibu. Welcome. Yes. The family is getting complete. Who else is here? Just let us know. Register your presence. This is going to be a total game changer. I promise you. You know the way the YouTube one was a game changer? Because we realized, oh my goodness, we didn't know this, we didn't understand this, Now you are going to see another game changer today. We are going to see another game changer right now. Excellent. Hello, John Paul. You are welcome. All right. Excellent. Now, let me start by reminding us of something I had said, at the last session. That, hello, Isabella. Good to have you. All right. Something I had said at the last session. We must never underestimate the opportunities that come with a crisis. We must never underestimate opportunities that come with a crisis. Now, yesterday, Forbes magazine came out with its annual list an analysis of the billionaires of the world. And this one was much anticipated because it was going to reveal what happened to the wealthy during the pandemic. But the results revealed something totally different from what many people expected. It was a record-breaking year. Nearly 500 new entrants joined the Billionaires Club globally. Nearly 500 new billionaires were minted. It's the highest in history. When they broke it down further, that means a new billionaire was being minted every 17 hours in the year of the pandemic. Did you hear what I said? A new billionaire was being minted, was being created every 17 hours in the year of the pandemic. Can you believe that? Every 17 hours in the year 2020, a new billionaire was made. Now, I don't know about you, but that blows my mind. You know, that totally blows my mind. You know, and I remember some time back, I wrote about, or we spoke about the innovations that came with the Spanish flu between 1918 and 1920, where 500 million people died, were infected, 50 million people lost their lives. But that was the decade after the pandemic. It ushered the world into what is called the Roaring Twenties. And innovations of the 20s include the television set, the blender, the bulldozer, water skiing, cheeseburger, penicillin, and many more. The 1930s ushered in the Great Depression. But just as it happened with the pandemic, more innovations were birthed. It was during this period Walt Disney was started as a company, KFC, Hewlett-Packard, Sheraton, Duracell batteries, and many others. So why is it that during downturns, a lot of innovations are birthed? During downturns, a lot of innovations are birthed. And, you know, that's a question that really, really, you know, gets my attention. Why is it? Now we have another downturn. Some people are complaining. Some people are campaigning against 5G. Some people are saying vaccine don't take. You know, others are focused on what they are doing, and 500 new billionaires in the year of the pandemic. And sometimes I look at this and, you know, cause and effect scenarios. Why do these companies do well in downturns? But we can get insight from another place, the Middle East. The Emirates built their economies on crude oil, and they've enjoyed a seemingly ending boom. But with the consciousness that it would one day run out, or the rise of the electric car will render their oil irrelevant, they went on an aggressive campaign to change things and turn their land into a tourist haven. What was the result of this deliberate action? Dubai was also named as the top city for spending in the world. In 1 year, tourists spent over $30 billion in Dubai. So, again, my question, why is it during downturns a lot of breakthroughs happen? And one of the reasons, ladies and gentlemen, is one word: focus. You need to identify your niche, you need to understand it well, and you need to focus on it. You need to know how to leverage the technology of the time. I think I shared it here some time ago. The very first presidential election in history to be televised was JFK versus Richard Nixon. And everybody agrees that in terms of the facts, Richard Nixon had the facts together, articulated the facts. But it was the first ever on television JFK had his face made up well, nice suit. Nixon looked like a grandpop that was tired coming from work. JFK won. Obama was the first campaign to leverage social media. And he raised more money on social media than the establishment had ever raised before. The rest is history. So what am I saying? We need to identify what is the technology of our time. Social media is big. I was looking at something earlier on, yesterday, where they were having the equivalent of the Oscar Awards for YouTubers. And there were YouTubers there who, in the course of the year, they made over $20 million. Over $20 million from YouTube. Now, guess what? This is open. Anybody can be part of that if they know what to do and how to do it. And that is why we are having these pandemic streams. Today, we want to look at Instagram. Now, I will be the first to confess to you, I don't understand how, or I didn't understand how a lot of these things worked. But one thing about me, when I see something working and I see people who understand it, I'm going to learn from them. So last week, we were learning from Tom and Kalpa, and today we're going to learn from someone else that I also happen to have known for a while. And the question is, what makes you successful on Instagram? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome my amazing guest for today, and her name is Fumi. Hello.
Hello. I hope you can
All
hear
right,
me
ladies and
well.
gentlemen, just the disclaimer, that is my daughter, okay? But she has done something I had no clue about how it works. And she has done so well with it. And I felt, you know what? I need to bring her here to come and share with us. So for me, towards the end of 2019, just before COVID broke out, was when you launched out, okay? Isn't it?
Yeah, that's when I took it seriously. Before I had it, but I was not taking it as seriously. But the pandemic being around forced me to be more consistent and to push more. So I had to take it seriously because people needed to see who I was, even though we couldn't go out.
So tell me, and maybe you speak a little bit louder. Tell me,
Okay.
what makes Instagram work?
Okay, for me, being in the beauty space, one thing that has made Instagram work for me is the fact that you can literally custom your page for people that you know will like it and enjoy interacting with your content. So I focus a lot on, I use hashtags because hashtags allow you to reach out to the exact kind of audience that you need. So if you're working with hair, you can put hair hashtags. So just identifying the areas where you can actually tap into the exact audience that you want. That's one area that Instagram is great at because it's very easy for the algorithm to pick up the people that are interested in your content and also pushing your content to such people. But you have to be consistent, and also learning to understand the algorithm is one thing that's very important. But once you do crack it, Instagram works
All right.
amazingly.
Before we go into that, there is the myth that we have. Well, now I know it's a myth that you need to have so many viewers or so many people following you on Instagram for you to become an influencer. Is that accurate?
No, that's a lie. That's a huge lie. And the thing is, if I was, if you're a brand, for example, and you have 20,000 followers, but when you post a picture, only 50 people like it, and maybe you have one comment or two comments, that's not attractive at all. But if you have 1,000 followers, and when you post a picture, you get like 300 likes or whatever, you get 50 comments, or you have more interaction, then you're much more attractive than the person that has 20,000 followers. So it has nothing to do with how many followers you have. It's about the conversion power. So even if you have just 500 followers, if you can be assured that if you post something, you're gonna have at least, even if it's 40% of your audience interacting with you, you're in a much better place than somebody who's gonna have 10,000 followers, but they have only likes. Likes actually do not matter as much on Instagram right now. What's important is people saving your content, sending it out to other people, posting it on their stories, and then also comments. Comments are very important. So the number of followers you have has nothing to do with how well you can do on Instagram. It's more about the interaction.
Wow. Now, a lot of us, so what now happens to, because I know a lot of people are just looking for people to follow them on Instagram. People are even buying followers. Eh? So what you are saying is that the followers don't mean anything.
No, it's just a number. The number that matters is when it goes down to your insights. And brands, when they want to work with you, they'll want to see your insights. So they might see that, okay, you have 10,000 followers, but you have only 50 people interacting, or not even interacting, but liking your content. So that means nothing. They would rather go for someone that has fewer followers but more interaction. So the number of followers you have, because I've seen people who have even up to 1 million followers, but when you go to the comments or the likes, it's still in the hundreds. It doesn't make any sense. And you can very easily spot places where there's something fishy going on, whether it's that they bought the followers or they're not active, so they have a lot of ghost followers. Ghost followers are basically people who follow you, but they do not interact with your content at all.
So what do you need to do? Because what you are telling us now is that the number of people that follow you is not what is important. What is important is the number of people that engage with your content. So they write comments. You are saying that just liking is not enough. So they must engage, they must
Yeah,
write
it's not.
something, they must share something. Explain that to us.
So, okay, for example, on Instagram, if I post a picture, someone can post that picture on their story. The stories are like, stories you see on Facebook, on WhatsApp. So someone can post my picture that I posted on my feed on their story. They can also send it to someone. Now, the thing about Instagram is anyone that presses the send button, whether it's to their story or to someone else, you can see the number of people that have done that. You can't see who exactly have done it, but you can see the number of people that have done it. So that's what matters, because that means that your content is being pushed to a wider audience to see it. Because if it's just on your page and someone likes it, it ends there. But if they put it on their story, they're then exposing their followers to your content, which means more people are engaging and staying on Instagram because of you. And so automatically, when you're that kind of person that people are picking up your content, posting it on their pages or sharing or saving your work, which means they're going to come back again to look at your work on Instagram, then the algorithm is going to favor you. So that basically means your work, what you post on Instagram, is going to be pushed out to more people. So for me, normally likes, I don't really care about likes. What I care about is people saving my work and people sending my pictures to other people, because that's what matters, and then comments. But the hierarchy is save, send to someone else, and then comment. Likes are the very bottom of that chain. So what's most important is that you're giving people something to either come back to, or you're exposing your content to a wider audience by them sharing it on their own pages as well.
All right. I know we're going to talk about how you have used that channel, to create, things and leveraged on it. And now you are what they call an influencer, but not on that mass market scale. All right. So tell me, how did you get to a point where brands are reaching out to you to help them? What did you do to get to that point?
Okay, the first thing I would say that I did is a lot of research because it's easy to just want brands. You think that if you post and if people like and share your stuff, that they're going to find you interesting, but it's not just about that. So because I'm a makeup artist, that means I had to up my game where my skill is concerned. So a lot of practice, trying out new stuff, not just sticking to one type of look, doing complex stuff, and then also utilizing videos. Videos are one of the best ways, especially on Instagram. Now they have something called Reels. When you make use of these videos, people are actually seeing you do this thing in live action. Because these days there's a lot of Photoshop, there's a lot of edits involved on social media. So when people are actually able to see you create what you're posting online, it does so well for you. And brands like that because then they see that you're actually using their product. So what I did was definitely a lot of consistency. A week can't go by without me posting. Not even like 3 days. It should never happen. Sometimes it happens when I just get carried away or can't control it. But ideally, even 3 days should never go past without me posting. So being consistent, when you're consistent, then people have something to look forward to. So even if you don't post on one day, people will still know that okay, she's probably gonna post tomorrow. And having a posting time as well, so people know when to expect you online. So being consistent, practicing a lot, and then you're also gonna have to invest in some of the. It's not a must. I'll say it's not a must, but it helps if you can. If there's a brand that you're targeting that you want to approach you, get a product from them, buy a product of theirs, and then use it and tag them, share it with them. Because then what that does is that it also shows them that you believe in the product enough for you to invest in it yourself without getting it for free. So
Oh
once
wow.
you do that, it
So
puts
wait,
you,
before
yeah.
you go on, baby, before you go on, um, I need you to take us by, just run that by us very slowly. And I don't know, your volume is a bit low, so speak much louder. Um,
Okay.
so somebody is watching now. They have an Instagram account, okay? And it's just there. And they don't know that they can use it. It can be a tool. So they're just sharing stuff there. Okay. So talk to that person. Talk to that person and say, okay, so you have your Instagram account right now. This is what you can begin to do to be able to attract the right kind of attention that you can leverage. And what is the minimum number of followers that a person can have to actually start doing something with this?
Okay. So the first thing, number one, with followers, even if you have 500, you're good. 500 followers is not bad at all. It's a very good start. And when I had 500 followers, I think that's when I got the first Kenyan brand that ever sent me products. So even if it's 500, you're good. Now, the first thing you want to do is identify exactly the kind of people you want to interact with your content. You're also going to need to follow other creators that create the kind of content that's similar or like in your same industry. So if you're into the culinary arts, you want to make sure that you're following some people who are also in that industry, because then what that does
Why is that
is
so?
naturally
Why
they
do I need
see
to
you.
follow them?
You need to follow them because number one, you need to keep up with what's going on in your industry, and also when you follow people like that, the algorithm will pick that you like such content, but also it will suggest you to other people that like that kind of content. So for me, one thing that really helped me is that when I started off, I followed a lot of makeup artists. Now the algorithm picked up that I'm into makeup. So what then started to happen is that makeup artists also started to follow me because it showed that we have the same interests. So when you follow people, it helps. No one should be tricked into thinking that if you follow many people, it's going to look bad on your page or anything. You can follow as many people as you want, but let it be relevant to you and an audience that will actually be adding to you in one way or another. So if you have,
So
like I said,
let's take note of that. So first thing, we follow, I'm actually taking notes, eh? First thing is we follow people like us. Huh?
yeah.
So who would you suggest that I follow now if I want to follow people?
I mean, you could follow Anthony Robbins, you could follow Grant Cardone, people who they have similar messages as you, or they are in your industry. So they are strategists, consultants, people that do what you do. You want to follow such people, even if it's people who are in the motivation section, Robin Sharma, all these, like literally anybody that you would read or look up to or listen to their content, you should be following such people, and that will really,
Okay,
really help you.
so that's the first thing. I follow people in my industry. Guys, I hope you are taking notes. So you follow people in your industry. Now, you keep using one big word in English now that I don't know that word, you keep saying it. Algorithm, algorithm. What is the algorithm? You have used that word too many times. What is it?
Okay, so on every social media platform, I'm not really a techie, but I'll try to explain it based on how I've understood it. So basically, there is that system that will, should I call it the operating system that will help, or rather direct your content in the right places that make sense, and also direct content relevant to you into your direction. So the algorithm, there's two things about it. Number one, it will only favor you if you are consistent. Because if you're consistent, then it understands you more. It understands the kind of, it's almost like if you know that your child likes cereal, for example. So you give them different cereals to try every day, you'll eventually know the one they like the most. You understand the one that they eat the most, the one that they finish the most. And so you will make sure that that's the one you have the most of because it's not going to go to waste. So in the same way, you want to make sure that you are consistent enough so that it understands you, and then it's going to bring content relevant to you that could help you and that you'd be interested in. It's going to bring that content your way, and it's also going to bring people interested in you and your content your way. So basically, it's like a game. You need to understand that for me to get the right audience, for me to have the right people following me, I also need to put in the work. I need to follow certain people. I need to interact with other people's content because you can't expect to go to Instagram and people just follow you. You don't like anyone's stuff. You don't comment on anyone's stuff, but you want them to do that for you. It's all it's a cycle. So you support people, they support you. And whether it's just the algorithm or as humans, you're gonna support people who support you. So you just need to play
So,
your cards right.
so Fumi, what you're saying is basically I need to make Instagram understand me.
Yes, you do.
So, and the
You
way
need to put
Instagram will understand me is by the things I post, by the people I follow.
yes, and also the hashtags you use. Hashtags are just basically these. I'm sure you've seen them on Twitter to help you find relevant content. So if it's hashtag cake, it's gonna take you to every post to do with cake. So using hashtags also directs your content into relevant circles and places where it's actually being looked for. The exact thing that you're posting will go to where other things like that are. using hashtags helps. A lot of people might not like it because also with hashtags, you're gonna have to do your hashtag research. Some hashtags go out of date very quickly, so you need to use what's relevant. Also, you wouldn't want to
Wait,
use
wait. You
hashtags that
have
are
to
too
do, did
big
you
that
just
have
say I have to do hashtag research? What is that?
yeah. So basically, for example, if I post a makeup look today, and I've done a winged eyeliner, or let's just say I've used colorful eyeshadow. So I'll use hashtag colorful eyeshadow as one of my hashtags. So what that's going to do is that it's going to go and be part of posts that are hashtag colorful eyeshadow. But also what you then need to realize is that there's so many posts under some generic names like that. So you need to look for the ones very relevant and the ones that people are still using. Because you might use a hashtag that's very relevant to what you posted, but no one is using that hashtag anymore. So it's just gonna sit there and nobody is gonna see that photo or that piece of work under that hashtag because it's not being used. So what I do is that I
So,
go to other makeup artists pages and I look at the hashtags that they are using and I just keep tracking the hashtags, understanding the relevant hashtags for my field, and then I pick up some of them.
okay, so let me give you an example. I've seen your Auntie Candy is watching. Let's use her as an example. On her Instagram page, um, who should she follow? And what kind of hashtag should she use?
Okay, so in the hospitality industry, obviously you'd want to follow other hotels, other lodges. If it's into wildlife, you could follow some wildlife photographers because those are people that could also potentially come take photos at the lodge. It would be beneficial to you as well. So anywhere from photographers, other hotels, culinary artists, people who would be interested in even coming for an internship. Because it's not just about who you can gain from, but also the people that you could benefit. And when people see that there's something they can gain from you, naturally they're going to gravitate towards you. So that's one thing that I've also learned is also look for people who you can be of help to, because then they're going to come to you because they know that there's something you have that they need. Yeah, I think that's what I would say. That should be the main thing. So following people, it's not just about now following hotels, but you're gonna follow people that are also involved with hotels. So, like I said, photographers, safari companies, tour van companies, just anything to do with your industry. You want to follow people like
So,
that. It could be
so if Auntie Candy is going to post on her Instagram, what kind of hashtags should she use?
um I would need to check more, but I could just from the top of my mind, it could be like hashtag safari, safari drive, hashtag Kenya wildlife, hashtag travel to Kenya, visit Kenya, hashtag Kenyan lodges or Kenyan hotels. These are just things I'm coming up from the top of my head, but when you go and also look at other lodges and other places that are doing the same thing, you'll see the hashtags they're using. Now, you don't have to use the exact ones, but the ones relevant to you, pick them up, definitely pick them up, and then see how many recent posts are under that hashtag, so then you'll know the relevant ones. So by doing that constantly, you're gonna get the drift of like, okay, these are the hashtags relevant right now. This is what people are looking for. These are the hashtags people are using. So if I use them, people are gonna find me and my content.
I see your mom said things like hashtag. Can you say things like hashtag rhinos, hashtag lions, or is that too vague?
No, that's definitely too big because, for example, if you
Yeah,
use
you know your mom is
hashtag
old
happy,
school. You know your mom is old school, so she's the one that could come up with hashtag rhinos.
exactly, because if you use something like that, it's just there's hashtags that have millions of posts under it. Now that might look attractive. You might think that, wow, if I use this hashtag, millions of people are going to see it. But it's quite the opposite because there's so many people using it. That means the frequency of posts under that hashtag is really high. So you put your hashtag rhinos, and 3 seconds later, there's going to be five more posts that come for you because so many people are using that hashtag. So then people are not going to see your work. So you would rather use hashtags with 10,000 users or hashtags with even in the hundreds of thousands, depending on how big you are, and then you can scale up from there. But if you use those very vague hashtags, no one is going to see your work.
All right. Now, um, I am an eyewitness. The reason I asked you to come is because, like when we were having your brother and Papa talk the other day, you know, I had on my YouTube, I have 900, nearly 1,000 subscribers, and I don't do anything there. So I was really provoked to see how much your brother they are making from YouTube. And this is the pandemic stream, something they just started. And then when you started, I had gone on Instagram. I started, but I didn't post anything. And I was looking at my Instagram today, which is dormant. And I see I have 3,051 followers. Is that a good number?
Very, very
Eh?
good.
But the
It's a
things that
very
are
good
happening to
number.
you, the things that are happening to you have never happened to me. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what happened to my daughter. I mean, suddenly, one of the biggest beauty brands in the world reached out to her, and that started a relationship with them. There's been a lot of money that's been changing hands. My daughter has become like a brand ambassador there, and I am thinking, nobody sent me any money. Nobody sent me anything. Even for Christmas, they sent you a present for lockdown. They sent you something to go through the lockdown, And I'm thinking, how? And then not only that, different beauty brands around the world, when they have a new product, what do you call that thing they send you?
PR packages.
They send her a PR package. So what that means is that a new company has come up with new products, and then Fumi is on the list of people around the world that they are sending their products to. Now, how did you get there? How did it start? Me, I want to make money. And then the internet you are using, I'm the one that's paying for it. And then you are making all that money. And then me, I'm just looking like Luco said. So tell me, how did you get there to the point? And you don't have many followers, So that was a mind shift for me, because I thought you needed to have 100,000 followers. But I saw what was happening to you. You are making money. They've recognized you, and you didn't have many followers. So how did you get there, my daughter? Tell us.
Okay, so like I said in the beginning, the first thing that I did was being consistent. I would not let a week or a couple of days go by without posting. And when I would post, I would use a lot of hashtags. I would tag these brands. Even if I didn't use any of their products, I would tag them, just to show that if I did have your product, I could use it in a good way. So I would tag them. I would also do a lot of videos, and with videos, you kind of get more interaction from people because they're seeing. And I always try to do something new or different when I do videos. So by doing that, people actually then start to notice you. Now, another thing is that for these international brands, this brand you're talking about, they have on their page over 40 million followers. So one thing you need to understand is that if you're going to be noticed by a brand that has over 40 million other people that are interested in them, that wants to work with them, there's got to be something different about you, and you can't be asking for anything. Imagine how many other people are asking them for something. So first things first is, when you, even if you're going to reach out to them and say, hey, can I do this with you? Never ask for anything. I think that's a mistake I've seen a lot of people do. where you go, you see a brand that you want to work with, and you just send them a message asking for money or asking for help. Don't ask for anything. Instead, think of a way you can be beneficial to them, because then they will ask you for help. So find a way that you can actually add value to them. If they're doing something and they need help getting the message out or anything like that, offer to help them and support them. It might sound like it should be quite the opposite, but support them and then you will find that they're actually supporting you. So being very consistent, being very intentional, not being greedy, not asking for things or thinking that
Yeah,
because
but
they have money
sweetheart,
or because they have.
this sweetheart, the company that you are that you do stuff with, they're worth over $1 billion. Over $1 billion.
Yes.
How did they notice you? What did you do to get their attention, to notice you in the midst of everybody else? And they have how many million followers?
Like I think 48 million.
48 million followers. And then they noticed you that has just a handful of followers. And then they now begin to work with you. What did you do to get their attention? So, for instance, if I now want to get the attention of someone out there, what did you do?
Okay, so it might sound like a funny story, but one of the first things I do when I identify a brand that I want to work with is I find people who work in that company. So for example, I do my research. So if I want to work with a certain company, I'm gonna find out who is the CEO, who is the head of their Instagram, who is the head of their social media, who is their packaging director. Just find out all these different people, follow these people. Um, so I did that, and some of their people follow me back. So till today, I have a handful of their employees also following me. Now, once you do that, you're already getting yourself into the system, because now in this company that doesn't even have that many employees, as big as they are, it's like over 100 employees. So then what you find is that different people in this same company are noticing you. Now, humans, we interact, we talk, so you find that there's circles of people in that company that have noted you. They know exactly who you are, they follow you, they engage with your content. So that's what I did. That's the first thing I did. I found out who was who. Once I did that, I followed those people, I would interact with their content, and then one day they had a giveaway, and one of the rules for the giveaway, I wasn't comfortable with it. And because I now had gotten those little relationships in the company, I reached out to someone and I said, I don't feel comfortable doing this, but I want to enter your giveaway. And number one, that's a bold move, because you don't tell people, we're doing a contest, and then you tell them, well, I can't follow your rules. I don't want to follow your rules, but I want to enter. So number one, that was something different. So I did that, and immediately I got a response that, well, we can't change the rules, but we would love to send you something. And they sent me a package. And that package alone was around products valued at like over $700, just because I said I can't do what you want me to do, but I want to be a part of this. So after doing that, I kept in touch. I would then tag them a lot. Since now I had their products, I could tag them a lot more in whatever I was doing. Um, so after doing that, I just literally, you keep up with them, you comment on their stuff, support them. You realize how valuable support is, even if it's just from one human being for these big brands, because the bigger you are, the more the criticism. So they also get a lot of hate in different areas. So when you're that one person that's been consistent, supporting them whenever they post, you're the first person to say something, you support them, then they're gonna support you as well. So it's not just being lucky or being so talented that people or these big brands flood to you, but you have to be different. I was definitely different. And then another thing is you need to have a way that you can, I don't want to say touch their hearts, but what are you doing to also make the world a better place? Because you'll find that a lot of these brands, the bigger they are, they have all these social projects. They want to make life easier for more people the bigger they get. So they realized what I was doing here, and that struck them as well. So they were naturally they were interested in what I'm doing in Kenya, what I'm doing in the slums, what I'm doing with young women. So that also kept the relationship going. So the two themes are just doing my research, knowing who is who, being bold and ready to say whatever you want to say, but respectfully. And then also just making sure that you're top of mind. So you're going to be consistent and you're also going to have a way that you are helping other people. Because brands like this in particular, they like to help people who are also helping other people. So the fact that there was something that I was doing that was also helping other people, that helped build the relationship and we bonded over that as well.
Wow. This is a true masterclass, Instagram masterclass. So, guys, I hope again you are paying attention. So you targeted them. It was not left to chance. So
Yes,
you looked at this
yeah,
company,
it happened.
you targeted that company that I want these people to notice me. I want to work with them. And then you did your research. You knew the people who were working there. You knew who was their chief Instagram officer. You knew who was who. And then you began to follow those ones and you began to interact with those ones. Meanwhile, you are going for the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, exactly. So literally today, as early as like 2 hours ago, I've had a conversation with the highest person in the company, the CEO. And only get to that place with you have to be very consistent. There's gonna be days when you post something and it looks like they've not noticed you and they don't care, but you'll be surprised how much they notice. But they have so many things going on, so it might take them time to acknowledge that they've noticed something and for them to give their feedback. But being consistent, you'll realize there's no one in this world, no one in any company that you can't reach out to if you just play your cards right.
my goodness. So as recently as 2 hours ago, you are talking with their CEO.
Yeah.
This is wow. Okay, so guys, you see, and I wish we could tell you that this thing is just easy, just do it. But now you are hearing again a lot of research, a lot of work goes into this, a lot of work. And that's why, you know, so this is literally a full-time thing because of the level of work and research that goes into it. Now, I noticed that other brands, you know, in different places now began to send you their own products and all that. What was it that got their attention? Was it because this big brand was now, everybody saw you had a relationship with these guys, or what was it that triggered that off that other brands took note of you?
I think it's a
And sorry, and
combination of
when they
different things.
send you, and when they send you their stuff, what do they expect you to do with it? Why are they all sending you stuff?
Okay, so it's a combination of different things. Definitely, when you start off with a brand that is way at the top, billion-dollar brand, all these other brands that are, even if it's in the millions, that's still a big thing for them to see that such a brand is supporting you. So it helps. So the fact that I targeted such a huge brand in the beginning, a lot of now the smaller brands were like, wow, who is this person that this brand believes in this much and that they're sending their stuff to? So naturally, they want to get involved as well. So that was one thing. Also, the fact that I was doing lots of videos, trying out new things, then they see that you're not just going to hold on to their product, you're actually going to use it and you're going to tag them. So what happens is they then want me to be a brand ambassador, and they know that if I use their product in the video, there's probably people specific that they want as part of their customers that is going to see that video and actually buy the product. So when they send me products, it's not that they're doing me a favor. Like, yes, it's nice for me, but they know what they want. They want something from me. And they're not going to tell me or force me to use it, but they're hoping that as we send her this stuff, hopefully she's going to use these products, she's going to post us, and then we can repost her content. So also the fact that I try to keep the quality of my content really high helps as well, because brands are not going to repost you if your quality is low. And there's so much good quality out there that you can't leave that to chance. You can't say that you're just gonna do whatever it takes. You need to actually put effort into making sure you have good quality content. It doesn't mean you need to have an iPhone or a professional camera. You can start with what you have. I started with what I had, and then you perfect on different things, whether it's sharpening your images before you post it, because when you post images on Instagram, the quality goes down. So just finding different hacks. So if I sharpen my image a bit, then when I post it, the quality won't go down as much. So using what you have, and then when they see that your quality is good, they're gonna be sure that, okay, so if we send her our product, she's not only gonna use it, but she's gonna create quality content that we can then repost on our page, showing someone using our product. So that's what has happened. So they see that this brand, this big brand believed, and they sent me their stuff, and they sent me lots of products from their skincare to their perfume to makeup. So when they see that kind of thing happen, then they feel like, oh wow, if such a brand is involved with such a person, let's get involved as well. So then you find that all these other brands, then naturally they want to send you stuff. They understand that you're going to use the product the right way, and you're going to reach out to an audience that's attractive to them. So I think at the end of the day, if you're attractive to the audiences of the brands that you want to work with, then you'll naturally be attractive to the brand as well. So it's not just about being attractive to the brand or looking at their page and seeing what they post, but look at the people that they are trying to reach out to, and you reach out to those people, get those people on your side, because then the brand will realize that you have people that they want to convert to their people as well.
Wow. Somebody wrote there, this is beyond intelligence. You know, like I said when I was listening to your brother, that I'm happy you are my child, otherwise I'd have coveted you. Now, there's a product, so you have all these people, and you know, this is just not fair. So you are using perfumes you don't pay for, you have the best makeup in the world, you don't pay for it, they're just giving you everything. Don't you think that is not fair? Eh? Now,
It's fair
so people
because
like
I
me,
worked for it.
oh, you worked for it. You know, people like me now, that what we deal in is knowledge. The best they can give me is send me a quote. Oh, oh my goodness. Now, you did a video, and I find it very interesting. Your brother did a video with Kalpa, and next thing it got the attention of BBC. Now, you are involved in a particular cause. You've done a video for it, and I hear that even Sky News is getting involved in that. Now, tell us about that video and that project.
Okay, so it's basically a movement towards being more authentic and open to editing, no, disclosing edits on social media. A lot of times we come online and we're seeing all these perfect bodies and all these people that look picture perfect. And a lot of young people then think that that's what they should look like, because it's creating a perception of images that we think we should look like. So this is basically a movement to get people to start disclosing edits, particularly big brands, and also to just get people to be comfortable enough to post things online without edits or without filters. Because it's possible. People just think that you have to look a certain way, but you don't. So there was a brand, this same big brand, they started this movement, and it's basically a call to action to get people to sign a petition so that big brands that are especially selling products have to disclose if the models' bodies are edited or altered in any ways. So I did a video with a couple of people, and I put it up on Instagram. We got like 7,800 views on it, and there was incredible interaction and an incredible response. But what happened is, and that's another thing that's so important, is timing. So immediately this brand put up this movement, I started working on this video. I talked to the founder and she was very excited about it, and immediately I got to work. So timing was very key. So now what has happened over the past 3 days is there's been some celebrities and just stuff that have gone on, and there's this conversation about being authentic and being comfortable in your body and not um, creating any toxic images out there that are going to make people feel like they're not good enough or their bodies are not good enough to be posted online. So Sky News then did an interview with that brand. So basically, the movement is now getting traction. And I would encourage all of you who are watching to go to my Instagram. You'll see that video. It's the third post, you'll see a black frame. And share that video because it's actually a movement that's going to help a lot of people. Like, just think about even if it's your daughters, your cousins, when we go online and we see all these perfect, picture perfect models, small waist, perfect complexion, and all that. So it's basically a video addressing that. So now it's getting traction. Sky News has picked up on the movement, and yeah, so it's now this is now the time that we're getting active with sharing it, because now the conversation has come up very publicly because of the people who have been involved in this whole subject of editing bodies and creating false images online.
That's a fantastic cause, because I think that will really help a lot of people who feel disadvantaged, because not knowing that a lot of these figures they see on television have been on whatever have been photoshopped. You know, I think that's a fantastic cause. Well done, daughter. That's a fantastic, fantastic cause. And please follow Fumi on Instagram, Ofumi Beauty. They will put that on the screen now so you can see Ofumi Beauty on Instagram. And you talked about timing, you know, that's so important. And one thing I must say, and I want to congratulate you, is that your consistency has been phenomenal. You know, when Malcolm Gladwell writes in this book, Outliers, about 10,000 hours, you know, I see the effort you put into it. You're always doing one look or the other. When you started, I did not understand, but you know, that's what happens, you know, but now I understand. Yeah, that's her thing on the screen, Ofumi Beauty. So please follow her on Instagram. And then there's another thing you do. You now do house calls for people who have a lot of money to pay you. And,
Yes.
you know, some people have taken you as far as Malindi, Watamu, different places. So they just they just call you. And of course, now with lockdown and all that, that has gone down. But tell us about that. That is phenomenal. So they pay premium. I did not even know that was being done in Africa. I didn't know that you have a celebrity makeup person that you pay premium, and she comes to your house and does your makeup for you. How did that start? I mean, tell us about that. What's that experience like? You must meet a lot of people.
Yeah, so basically, I started this probably about a year ago. And so basically, if you have an event or a wedding or whatever, you can call me. But especially now, you know, if you're going to call me during this period, I will demand a lot. You will cater to my transport, my accommodation. Um, Obviously, you have to pay, because one thing a lot of people need to start understanding is it's a skill, and it's if it was something that every single person could do, then there would be no need for you to call me. So if you're gonna call me to do your makeup wherever you are, you have to make sure I'm well taken care of. So
And
yeah,
I
I do
hear,
that.
so wait, so they pay, I'm told that they fly you first class, they do all that. You celebrity makeup, yeah?
Yes,
and they pay a lot.
yes.
So you are obviously not doing makeup for the masses, but you do makeup. Tell us about the transforming lives through beauty. So so you make money from the rich, and then tell us what you do, transforming lives through beauty, and then we will begin to wrap up.
Okay, so the whole idea behind the whole transforming life through beauty is creating a community of makeup artists and people who are passionate about beauty from the slums. It's one of those areas where a lot of people, especially in our society, somehow they view makeup to be a hobby, but it's not. You can see that you can earn from it. You can do crazy things just from this industry. It's a $1 billion industry. So the whole idea is to let all these young women in the slums that have always wanted to be makeup artists or wanted to get into the beauty industry, you're giving them a platform to actually tap into that. So I teach these young women in the slums. Um, we do these makeup master classes, and then after that, it's now a system where they can actually go, and even if it's a small job, the whole point is they should not be jobless, yet they have something they're passionate about and something that they can actually work towards. So then they can get small jobs, even if it's in beauty shops, and that can just help them start their journey in the makeup industry, because makeup classes, number one, are not cheap. So me being someone who is willing to actually give that skill to them and share my knowledge with them, it goes a long way for them. Because if I were to charge what I charge for people if they want classes is almost the same thing I charge if somebody wants me to do their makeup. So it's not a cheap thing. So it's really giving them a platform that if they, as they continue to push, it can really take them places. And soon enough, I trust we can be traveling for jobs internationally together. So the vision is to just get these young women out of the slums through doing what they love and through beauty, through makeup.
Wow. Your former teacher in Brook House is here, Mr. Michael Murigi, and he said, "Very good job for me from your proud teacher." Yes, and I want to
Thank you.
thank you for teaching, for being her teacher. You want to say something to your teacher?
I just want to say thank you. I'm happy that you're here. It was definitely a very fun experience because BTech and that whole experience in Brookhouse really trained me for what I'm doing now because I have to balance school with passion and every other thing that I'm doing. So it helps because it's hands on, it's a lot of work. So thank you for everything and for all the fun lessons in Brookhouse. It definitely helped me a lot.
Fantastic. I guess this is every teacher's pride and every parent's pride to see their students or their children doing well. There's a question on YouTube I'm just seeing from Carlene, and after this we will be done. That in the sea of hashtags and social media content, how do you differentiate yourself? That's a very good one. How do you differentiate yourself?
Okay, so what I'd say, okay, speaking from my situation, one thing that I did was even though there's all those generic hashtags out there, you really want to find something to make yourself different. So what I do is in every single makeup look that I do, I try to have at least a few different things that not everyone else is doing, because that gives me an edge and that makes me slightly different from all the other people. So one of the first things I started doing that was a little different was a certain kind of look called the cut crease, and I would play around with it in many different ways. And so that in itself would make me different. So once you start doing something that's different, you can also then create your own hashtag and get people to start using your own hashtag. And once that happens, you realize that not only are you doing something different and not only have you differentiated yourself, but you're also then going to get people who first of all, under that hashtag, you'll find that you're always at the top because it's your own hashtag. So finding something extremely different to do is very helpful, and then create your own hashtags as well. It helps.
All right. I just realized we said we are going to also talk about Clubhouse, but we've spent all the day on Instagram. Do you want to, because your experience with Clubhouse, again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, I didn't know anything. I didn't know there was a social media platform called Clubhouse, you know. But next thing, from Clubhouse, I saw that some other doors had opened for Fumi. I think, you know what we will do? This is an opportunity to have you back. Or do you want us to finish the Clubhouse thing today, or you come back and talk to us about that?
I think I'll come back.
Oh, okay. Cool. Because your Clubhouse experience is another phenomenal one. I did not know about that, but you've done wonders there also. So I think, so we don't give people an information overload. We just stay with the Instagram today, and then when we have you back, we will now talk about your Clubhouse experience. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. It's been real. It's been wonderful. And I want to thank Fumi. I want to thank all of you for being here, for your participation on Facebook, on YouTube. Thank you so much. Oh yes, Stella wants to hear about your Clubhouse experience. All right, so we have one person who has said they want you back. So we will work on that. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take note of these things. I am somebody that I have learned that the more I know how little I know. And there's so much to learn. I grew up in the era of television and VCR, and we played outside and we rode rented bicycles sometimes. You know, I grew up in that era. But hey, this is a totally different era here right now. And so we all have to learn. And that's why we are here at the Street University. Just before I go, I want to encourage you, anybody who has not yet registered for our one-on-one session with me called Reimagine Yourself, I would like to strongly encourage you to register, because what I am doing in that class is that I am helping you to reimagine yourself, because like I've always said, potential is not static. Potential is dynamic, but a lot of people are stuck with yesterday's potential. And that's very, very important that you understand. Potential is not static. Potential is the sum of your exposure, your education, your networks, your abilities. That's what your potential is. Now, the eagle knows when it needs to recalibrate. The eagle knows that. But many people are stuck in their old form. A caterpillar never gets too comfortable to become a pupa. And neither does the pupa or the cocoon get too comfortable to become a butterfly. So the Reimagine Yourself program is a one-on-one session. We've started this initially just as a corporate thing, you know, for CEOs and all that. But if you send me a message, Wale at thestreetuniversity.com, we will still be able to slot you in. There are about 4 sessions and a little bit more. You know, it's personal. We'll be able to address things that are not able to be addressed when you are in a large training or when we have large trainings. It's one-on-one, and I believe it's going to help you to the next level. So send me an email if you want to be part of that, Wale at thestreetuniversity.com, and we will send you the package, the brochure, And anybody who registers from this platform, you will get a 70% discount. So that's why it's important you send your email immediately. You get a 70% discount. That means instead of paying the $1,200 that you would have paid if you approached me from a company organization, you will get to pay just $300 if you register from this platform. So send me that email and Cynthia will schedule your meetings and we'll get you started. Once again, thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is fantastic. We give God praise. And at 9 p.m., I am going to be, Taiwo and I will be at Wale Akemi resource page talking about our mindsets. We will continue the conversation on mindset. So 9 o'clock, those of you who can make it, we look forward to seeing you there. Till then, God bless, keep winning, and I look forward to getting your emails. Fumi's teacher, Mr. Murigi, thank you so much for doing an amazing job with my daughter. We are so grateful. And my daughter Fumi, I'm proud of you, love you. Thanks, guys. Keep winning.